Isn't it very interesting that suddenly the Sharks are out for Edu and the Kroenkes again? Like I've seen this before. I remember when Arsenal decided not to pay over the odds for Buendia and it went to Aston Villa. We saw a lot of people giving the Kroenkes, Arteta and Edu flag. Oh, why can't we get Buendia? This, that. We are penny pinching again. And we got Odegaard. Now, whose career has been thriving? Buendia or Odegaard? I remember when a lot of the fans went berserk last January when we couldn't get Vlahovic. He went to Juventus and started again sign anybody. Now we got Jesus in the summer. Who looks a better fit for the team? Like when will Arsenal fans learn? It is ridiculous the amount of stupidity. I'm trying to man my words, but there's no other way to describe this. Idiocy shown online. Now it's easy for you to hide under the avatar. It's easy for you to throw stones and hide your hand online. It's sickening. I get it. A lot of you are disappointed. I'm disappointed too. But when did the world get to a level where people don't have common sense no more, no critical thinking? If Chelsea, like I said yesterday in my earlier video, are ready and are willing to be silly, why should we match their level of being silly? Like, it's funny that AFTV who have defended when Simon Jordan, the talk sport co-host that likes to give them a lot of rollicking. But to be fair, now I understand what he was saying then. There are a few people that have come out from that platform, AFTV, courses, Talkish, who'll be talking smack because of the platform they have. This is not a personal dig at them, but they'll be talking smack. Why should Arsenal discard of their principle just to get a few of you excited? Like, you can stop supporting the club. I find it very easy that you can't do what you want to do on your platform, but Arsenal cannot run the way they want to run based on their principle. I think at 95 million euros, Arsenal were really willing to overpay. Why should we get 100 million euros? Why? This guy has barely had two good seasons. Like I said, you see, barely 20 caps for his national team. Yes, the potential is there. Don't get me wrong. I'm not going to flip flop. I wanted him at Arsenal. Make it clear. I wanted him, but not at all costs. He's not the only decent player that we can always ever have. Like we lost Vlahovic to Juve. We didn't sign Buendia, went to Aston Villa, and we are still on top of the table right now. Think. I get it. It's fair to be disappointed, but to start casting aspersions on Edu at the Kroenkes, let's not forget same Kroenkes paid Aubameyang off when he was becoming a nuisance at the team. Ozil, Mustafi, Kolasinac, Socrates. Nobody was willing to give him any praise for that. Just to get the club moving forward in the right direction and the right trajectory. Nobody talks about that. The same Kroenke. So when we came with, I saw a podcast a while ago that was giving the argument, oh, but we were paid for Ramsdale, we were overpaid for Ben White. Within reason, there's nuances and context to that. We overpaid for Ben White, I agree, but Ben White was primarily proven. And we needed some English inclusion in our team. For the longest time, we've not had a healthy group of English players in Arsenal. So you can see the nuances with that. We have to have English contingent in Arsenal, which is fair. We slightly overpaid. And we can see Ben White is worth every dime of that 50 million euro or 50 million pounds. There are context and nuances to this argument. For Ramsdale will have cost more than we even eventually paid because Ramsdale dug his heels that he wanted to join Arsenal. That even made the price come down a little bit, even though you can tell me that overpayment. But Ramsdale has been worth it. And Ramsdale was keen on coming to Arsenal. He didn't change his mind. Even though Sheffield United were trying to dig their heels, and Arsenal actually walked away from the deal. But Ramsdale was keen to push the deal through, which MUDRYK did not do. You don't get it. Chelsea paid everything Shakhtar Donetsk wanted, and that is not negotiating. That has been bullied by the selling club, and Arsenal will not be bullied by a selling club. I think Arsenal was fair to get to the amount they got to. So all these aspersions and insults towards Edu and the Kroenkes is hypocritical. It's crazy how majority of the world are so stupid. They don't think. So The same EDU and KROENKE that were being praised for a brilliant transfer window during the summer suddenly are terrible owners. Suddenly, EDU doesn't know what he's doing. It's terrible. Make it make sense. You have people that are triggering you with their bigger platforms so they can get more tractions, more views, because they know a lot of you are silly and stupid and can't think for yourself. Apply context to this thing. Look at the situational context of everything before you just keep on spouting nonsense out of your mouth or typing bullshit on the internet. Today is not London Derby. Let's support the team. I get it. It's fair to be disappointed. You're human, but do not overly push it. Think about certain things before you go on the internet and overly react on things. A lot of you overreacted about Buendia. Like, look at it. Buendia and Odega, who will you take? Who is striving? A lot of you were overly critical about Vlahovic. Look at it, Jesus and Vlahovic, before Jesus got injured, was striving at Arsenal. Like, stop it. I get it. Most of you overly invest in players that are not at Arsenal. That is the major problem. Stop overly investing in players that have not signed for Arsenal. I get it. You can be excited. You can be hopeful if you want to. But stop being overly invested in players that are not yet signed by Arsenal. This will save you a lot of headaches and headaches. It's ridiculous. Like, use your brains. Use your brains. I'm happy Arsenal were not hamstrung into overpaying for a player. Like I said, I'm not going to retract my belief. I think he's a good player, but a good player can make a misstep and their careers might never be the same forever. Trust me, no matter how great your potential seems, if you make the wrong career choice at a particular time of your career, that can derail everything in your career. Now, MUDRYK can still come good at Chelsea, fair game, and there's a possibility of everything imploding by making a bad career choice. Chelsea doubled the wages Arsenal were willing to pay. Chelsea gave Shakhtar more achievable add-ons. Chelsea decided to pay more. That is their prerogative. We do not have to match it. As I said from the beginning, they are not going to be drawn to a bidding war, and they stood their ground on that. And I believe we shouldn't be drawn to a bidding war. If Chelsea decide to bankroll all kinds of stupidity, we should not have to compete with them bankroll all kinds of stupidity. They can afford it. We will not do it, even if we can afford it. So people saying it's just 5 million euros, it's more than 5 million euros. Even though it's just 5 million euros, you don't need to sabotage your own principles because you have a competitor willing to go all out. You don't have to. Keep on chatting your nonsense. I support the KROENKE. I think they are doing the right thing for the longevity and the healthy finances of the club. That's very, very key. And I support EDU for staying stern on what is achievable and what is reasonable and what is logical. If you disagree, we can disagree respectfully. We don't need to trade insults. We can disagree respectfully. And if you like my content, please subscribe, like the video, very important, and make sure your notification bell turned on. And if you don't like, scroll and keep it moving. There's no problem about that. I'll see you guys on the next one.